Imagine a tragic event unfolding, a school shooting. Panic spreads and lives are at stake. The Uvalde response offers crucial lessons on patrol and performance. In May 2022, tragedy struck in Uvalde, Texas. 19 students and 2 teachers lost their lives. The police response has faced intense scrutiny since that day. What went wrong during this horrific event? Understanding the failures is key to preventing future tragedies. First, let's explore the context. Uvalde has a population of approximately 15,000. The local school district operates several campuses. The shooting happened at Robb Elementary School. Now let's discuss the police response. Officers arrived on the scene just minutes after shots were fired, but they did not immediately enter the classrooms. What factors contributed to their situation? Communication was a significant issue. Officers on site struggled with information overload. This delay cost precious time. Next, we analyzed decision-making under pressure. Police leaders assessed the situation based on available intel. They believed the shooter was barricaded and children were not at risk. However, witnesses reported ongoing gunfire. This conflict in information led to hesitation. The desire to protect officers also contributed to the delay. As crucial moments passed, parents outside grew desperate. They urged officers to act. Frustration mounted as they witnessed the lack of action. Let's shift our focus to the training aspect. Officers undergo active shooter drills regularly, yet Uvalde exposed gaps in their preparation. The situation illustrates the importance of rapid response protocols. Standard operating procedures must prioritize immediate action. Every officer needs clear guidelines for high-stakes incidents. Reflecting on performance, we recognize the need for accountability. Officers and command leaders now face intense scrutiny. Analyzing decisions is essential for learning and growth. As we summarize, heeding the lessons from Uvalde is vital. Effective communication, immediate action, and proper training must be reinforced. We must honor the lives lost with proactive steps. Improving police response can save lives in future incidents. United, we can advocate for change in law enforcement training. For more information and updates on this topic, please subscribe to our channel. Your voice matters in pushing for change. Let's work together to ensure a safer future for our children. Imbued with a sense of urgency, the parents outside Robb Elementary School pleaded with officers to act. Some shouted the names of their children, their voices rising above the chaos, while others begged for someone to heed their cries for help. In that moment, the divide between law enforcement and the desperate families waiting for answers grew wider, revealing the emotional toll of inaction under the weight of an unspeakable crisis. In the midst of this turmoil, the police command held tense discussions, weighing the risks of immediate entry against the uncertainty of the situation inside. As the minutes dragged on, the sound of distant gunfire echoed, a stark reminder that both time and lives were slipping away, amplifying the urgency for decisive action. The anguish outside was palpable as parents paced anxiously, exchanging glances filled with fear and disbelief. A mother clutched her phone tightly, hoping for word of her child's safety, while others wept openly, their hearts heavy with dread. Each passing moment felt like an eternity, the desperation of the waiting families underscoring the grave responsibility resting on the officers' shoulders. Even as they negotiated their next steps, a growing sense of duty ignited a fire within some of the officers. They were acutely aware that action was needed, a realization that could no longer be delayed amidst the backdrop of tragedy. The command center, a stark contrast to the unfolding horror, buzzed with anxious energy as officers radioed in their assessments. Tension thickened the air, each voice echoing the urgency echoing through the hallways like an unholy chant of fear and confusion. Meanwhile, the stark reality of their inaction weighed heavily. Every second spent deliberating transformed into another moment of fear and pain for the families outside. Some officers exchanged looks, silently acknowledging the voices of the parents mingling with the distant gunfire, urging a call to action. In that critical juncture, the decision to breach the door became more than a tactical choice. It morphed into a moral quandary that haunted them with every heartbeat. Would they find the strength to step into the chaos and confront the terror that lurked within? Or would hesitation continue to shatter the hopes of an anguished community? As time slipped away, officers began to recognize the gravity of their inaction. A sergeant, driven by instinct, decided to link arms with several peers, urging them to take charge of the situation. "We need to move now," he declared, determination etched in his features, as they collectively resolved to redefine their role in that haunting moment. With a firm grip on their weapons, they advanced towards the classroom door, their resolve hardening with each step as the sounds of heartbreak and fear guided their actions forward. The officers burst through the door, hearts pounding as they faced the chaos within, fueled by an overwhelming sense of responsibility. Adrenaline surged through their veins, each second feeling like an eternity as they scanned the room, desperate to assess the situation and locate the source of the gunfire. The resolve that had propelled them forward was now a unified force, urging them to protect innocent lives and restore a sense of safety amidst unspeakable horror. In the wake of Uvalde, the call for reform echoes far and wide. The lessons learned must resonate within every law enforcement agency, emphasizing that lives depend on swift action and unwavering courage. Together, we can transform tragedy into a catalyst for necessary change, ensuring that no community faces such heartache again. As the officers moved through the doorway, they were met with a scene that would be forever etched in their memories. The chaotic sounds of distress enveloped them, punctuated by the echoes of the ongoing assault. Each step they took was a calculated risk, fueled by their determination to shield the children and educators who remained in that terrifying reality. They could feel the weight of urgency pressing down on them as time relentlessly marched forward. Suddenly, the urgency crystallized into focus. They spotted movement, a cluster of terrified children huddled in the far corner, their wide eyes filled with fear and confusion. The officers instinctively spread out, shields raised as they assessed the situation before them. Heartbeats quickened and air felt thick with tension as they exchanged silent nods of understanding. With swift coordination, one officer positioned himself to cover the entry point, while another moved closer to the children, his voice reassuring yet firm. "Stay low and quiet. We're here to help you," he called out, attempting to break through the palpable fear enveloping the room. As he approached, he could see the children's faces transform from terror to a flicker of hope, igniting his resolve to protect them at all costs. In the heat of the moment, adrenaline masked pain, guiding their actions towards saving innocent lives. The officer moved closer to the frightened cluster, his heart racing in sync with the chaos surrounding them. "I need you all to listen to me," he urged, his voice steady despite the turmoil. "We're going to get you out of here, but I need you to trust us. Stay behind my shield and don't make a sound." Their wide, frightened eyes locked onto his as he knelt before them, a silent promise forming between them, one of protection amidst the horrors they faced. Meanwhile, the air thickened with impending action as colleagues communicated vital information about the shooter's position. Breaths held as decisions were made in that tense moment. They felt every second as a countdown, transcending fear into resolve, determination propelling them forward. In that split second, the officer's decision became clearer. Together, they would breach the next barrier, one more step towards freedom for those innocent souls. "On my count, we move," he said, rallying them as they huddled tighter, a collective heartbeat echoing the rhythm of their hope. As the officer prepared to breach the next barrier, his heart echoed the urgency surrounding them. "1, 2, 3, he shouted, and they moved as one, a united front breaking through the threshold. The moment felt electric, charged with the weight of what was at stake. Each officer was poised for action, ready to confront whatever terror awaited them beyond the door. With instincts honed by training, they stepped into the unknown, prepared to protect the most vulnerable amidst the chaos. Their resolve became a beacon of hope, cutting through the harrowing silence. And for the children behind them, it was the promise of safety reborn amidst the shadows of despair that had overwhelmed their world. Each officer remained acutely aware that their actions in these critical seconds could mean the difference between life and death. Moving deeper into the darkness, their tactical formation ensured they covered every angle, vigilant in their pursuit to end the threat. Time hung heavy in the air as they advanced, ready for anything, driven by the need to restore safety and reclaim innocence lost in an instant. Together they pressed onward, hearts beating as one within a shared mission, an unwavering commitment to protect, even while navigating the depths of danger. The officers pushed further into the chaos, coordinating as they scanned the room for any signs of the shooter. The oppressive silence weighed heavily on them, yet their breathing became synchronized, a testament to their training and shared resolve. With their shields raised and weapons at the ready, they cleared corners and covered one another, their senses heightened as they listened intently for any hint of movement. Each officer felt the weight of the situation pressing on them like a physical force. They were acutely aware that every moment spent searching robbed time from those still caught in the nightmare. They reached a barricaded door, the anxiety within them palpable as they exchanged knowing glances. This was where decisions became actions. A lead officer, heart racing but mind sharp, motioned for the others to prepare while he listened closely for any noises from the other side. "We have to be ready for anything," he reminded them quietly, a shared determination evident in their eyes. Each beat of their hearts resonated with the urgency of the moment, a mantra for the innocent still trapped within. With a swift motion, they formed a line against the door, adrenaline spurring them on. "On three we go," he instructed, and the tension swelled as they counted, their minds focused solely on the mission ahead. It was now or never. The gravity of their undertaking surged through their veins, awakening a blend of fear and courage that sustained them. As they pushed the door open, ready to confront the unimaginable, a flicker of hope pulsed within them. They were bringing an end to darkness, fighting for the light of lives still on the line. Time stretched as they stepped into the room, the promise of protection anchoring their resolve against the storm of chaos. United in purpose, they were determined to fulfill their duty, to reclaim safety from the edge of tragedy, and ensure no child would face that hell alone again. The moments that followed were a whirlwind of action. As the officers stormed into the classroom, they were greeted by immediate chaos. Overturned desks and scattered belongings painted a picture of fear etched into the environment. Heart rates soared, adrenaline coursing through their bodies as they trained their eyes on every corner of the room, seeking any sign of the shooter amidst the debris. Their instincts took over, a well-practiced instinct to protect and serve, fueled by the sheer urgency of the situation. "Clear left, clear right," one officer called out, signaling his partners to assess carefully while ensuring the area was safe for evacuation. They communicated silently, nodding resolutely as they moved with newfound resolve, driven by the need to bring those trapped to safety. Each expression on their faces reflected the gravity of the moment. Their transformation from mere responders to crucial lifelines had commenced. Hope hung palpably in the air, intertwining with fear, as they rushed to find the children and empower them to escape the nightmare that had engulfed their school. The officers continued their search with unwavering determination, firmly focused on the task at hand. Their hearts raced as they called out to the terrified children, urging them to remain calm and stay close. "We need everyone to gather around us," an officer shouted, maintaining a steady tone to instill assurance amidst the chaos. The children, whose expressions shifted from shock to understanding, slowly rose from their hiding spots, drawn to the safety represented by the officers. With each passing second, their numbers grew, forming a small but determined group ready to escape the horror that had intruded into their lives. As the officers coordinated their movements, they couldn't shake the haunting awareness of the horrors witnessed moments ago, but their resolve strengthened with each child they guided toward safety. Time was of the essence. Every second mattered, and with that urgency coursing through their veins, they prepared to lead the children to freedom, marking a pivotal moment in a tragedy they would never forget. In the aftermath of that harrowing day, the officers left the classroom not just as protectors, but as bearers of a weighty responsibility, one that demanded profound change. The echoes of their actions would resonate through their lives and the community, urging reforms that prioritize swift intervention and compassionate understanding. Only then can we honor the lives lost and ensure that such